Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to dive deep into a technology that is seriously changing the game for how we design and brand our physical spaces. We're talking about printing incredible, photorealistic graphics directly onto walls. And trust me, this isn't just a small step up, it's a whole new way of thinking.
But before we get into the tech, let me ask you a question. Just think for a second about the spaces you manage or design. Do your walls ever feel like a source of frustration? I mean, are you just tired of dealing with vinyl graphics that start peeling and bubbling, or wallpaper that just looks kind of cheap? It's a super common problem, and it means your most valuable visual asset might actually be working against your brand.
So, here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the problem itself, then introduce the technology that solves it. We'll do a head-to-head comparison with the old methods, and then look at some amazing real-world applications. After that, we'll cover what you need to know before you even think about printing, and finally, we'll look ahead to the future. So let's jump right in.
To really get why direct-to-wall printing is such a big deal, we have to talk about the headaches that come with the methods we've all been stuck with for decades. You know, for years, we've basically been forced to choose between two less-than-perfect options. On one hand, you've got stuff like vinyl. Sure, you can scale it, but you're stuck with seams, bubbles, and eventually peeling. And taking it off, it can be an absolute nightmare that just wrecks the wall. Then, on the other hand, you have hand-painted murals. They look fantastic, no doubt, but they're slow, they're expensive, and trying to get the same exact look across 10 different locations? Good luck with that.
So, that really sets the stage for the solution. What if you could get the best of both worlds? You know, the perfect precision and scalability of a digital file, but with that seamless premium look of a hand-painted mural? Well, that is exactly what direct-to-wall printing delivers. Okay, so the core idea here is this. It's not a sticker, it's not a decal. A specialized mobile printer literally applies UV-sensitive ink directly onto the surface. Then, and this is the magic part, onboard LED lamps blast it with UV light, which instantly hardens or cures the ink. It basically becomes one with the wall. It's now a permanent, durable part of the architecture itself.
And the process? It is surprisingly efficient. It all starts with a quick site visit and getting the design files ready. On install day, it's just a simple wipe down of the wall, the printer gets calibrated, and then the printing starts. And because that UV curing happens instantly, there is zero drying time. The second the printer is done, the space is ready to go. No waiting, no fumes, nothing.
All right, so now for the fun part, the direct comparison. We've talked about the concept, but let's break down how this new tech actually stacks up against the old-school methods when you look at the things that really matter.
This chart, well, it really tells the whole story, doesn't it? I mean, look across the board. From the perfectly seamless finish to its incredible durability, direct-to-wall just wins. But the two columns that are absolute game changers are removal and waste. The fact that you can just paint right over the graphic when you're done. No scraping, no wall damage, no crazy labor costs. That completely changes the financial picture. It's a massive win for facility managers and anyone handling a brand budget. Okay, theory is great, but let's see where this tech is actually making a difference. How are different industries using this right now to solve real problems and completely transform their spaces? First up, let's talk healthcare. This is a tough environment where hygiene, patient experience, and clear communication are absolutely critical. And honestly, traditional wall coverings often just can't keep up. In a hospital, the benefits are huge. You can integrate wayfinding, directions right into the walls of a hallway, which cuts down on confusing signage clutter. And what's really crucial is that the UV-cured surface is super tough and non-porous. It can be scrubbed down with harsh hospital cleaners over and over again, meeting those incredibly strict hygiene standards.
Next up, education. Think about it. Schools, colleges, these are high-traffic, high-impact environments. They take a beating.
So schools are using this for everything from giant, inspiring spirit walls to sophisticated donor recognition displays. But here's a key advantage. It prints beautifully on tough surfaces like concrete block. The stuff most school hallways are made of, where vinyl just peels right off. And because it's so fast, you can literally refresh an entire campus during a short maintenance break.
And of course, we've got the corporate and retail world, where brand perception and being able to move fast is everything.
In these spaces, speed is a massive advantage. You can transform an entire corporate lobby overnight with zero disruption to the business. Retailers can roll out seasonal campaigns without the hassle and waste of scraping off old adhesives. The end result is this premium, built-in look that makes the brand feel more permanent, more intentional, and just better. Now, anytime you have a cool new technology like this, a lot of really good questions come up. So let's just get ahead of it and tackle the 3 most common ones we always hear. The first one is always about texture. Can you print on brick, on a concrete block wall? And the answer is a resounding yes. The secret is using a white ink underbase. The printer lays down a layer of opaque white ink first, which basically acts like a perfect, smooth primer. It fills in the little nooks and crannies and creates a bright white canvas, so the colors that go on top just pop. The second big question is always about durability. How does it hold up? Well, the UV-cured ink itself is already incredibly tough. It's resistant to scratches and can be cleaned easily. But for those super high-traffic zones, like a busy school corridor, you can also add a clear top coat for an extra layer of armor, whether that's anti-graffiti or even antimicrobial.
And finally, the big one, cost. Is this more expensive than vinyl? Well, the upfront cost might be in the same ballpark as a high-end vinyl job, but the total cost of ownership is way, way lower. When you think about the entire life cycle and you completely eliminate the huge cost of removal, disposal, and wall repair down the line, the financial argument for direct-to-wall becomes incredibly clear. It's just a smarter, more sustainable way to invest your money.
So, when you put all this together, it's pretty obvious that we're not just talking about a new product here. This really represents a fundamental shift in how we should be thinking about the design and branding of the environments we build.
So let's just recap the biggest takeaways. It's faster to install with way less disruption. It's more durable and easier to take care of. It creates a tiny fraction of the waste. It lets you scale a brand with perfect consistency. And, maybe most importantly, it gives you a seamless architectural finish that looks like it was always meant to be there, not just stuck on as an afterthought.
There's a quote from the source material that just nails it. It talks about creating smarter installations, less waste, and environments that look like they were meant to be this way all along. And that's really the heart of it. This is about being more intelligent and more integrated in how we design our spaces.
Which leaves us with one last, kind of provocative thought. When you have a technology that is this fast, this durable, and this seamless, you have to ask yourself, what does this mean for the old ways of doing things? Could this actually be the beginning of the end for wallpaper and vinyl? It is definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.